Good morning, good morning, good morning. We have so much to talk about this morning. I'm super excited. As you can see, I have a guest, my beautiful cousin Janae. I'm so excited that she could be here with me.
Hello, I'm excited too.
This was kind of like a spare of the moment thing, and I'm so glad that it happened. We were supposed to meet up yesterday, and we didn't get a chance to. And so before she heads back home out of town, she said she would come on here with me. So I'm excited because she's going to talk about, we're going to both talk about things that are so dear to our heart this morning. It's real topics, and just basically have conversation like we normally do when we're just chilling at my house or we're just hanging out having lunch. So, but before we get into anything and before I let her introduce herself, I want to talk about my 3 businesses that I have to highlight this morning. And the first one being the tea that I'm drinking in my mug and that Janae's drinking also. It's called Soursop tea, and it is made by Cliff Young. And Cliff Young, if you guys don't know, we're going to have a podcast that comes out soon. We did an interview with him. He's locally known here in Tulare, businessman. And so he has a website full of goodies, health and wellness. And I am drinking on his soursop tea this morning, and it is amazing. So I'm going to put, yes, it is. I'm going to put, and soursop, guys, look it up. It has so many benefits. But it's good. It tastes good. I added some, like a little agave and lemon, and it's really good. So the website will be in the description later. But and then the mug that I'm drinking from, I want to highlight my dear friend, Monica Morales. She is a real estate agent, and she sells real estate. Hold on, I have some notes here that I took because I didn't want to mess it up. She's with... who is she with? She is working with, I think it's called Legacy Realty. And they have 4 different locations in Tulare, Visalia, and Porterville, and Lemoore. And they go all around. They come to you. She also does, she's a process server in evictions. So she's local. She's my girl. I love her. She's kosher, super cool. And if you guys need any real estate or eviction, like landlords, if you need any eviction, process servers for things to get served, documents, then hit up Monica Morales, Legacy Real Estate. And she's here in Tulare, and I will post her information in the description as well. And then, of course, I had to give a shout out to my loctician because I love her dearly. She is located in Visalia. Her business is Lucky Locks, and her name is Jordan Lucky. And she is in Visalia off of Mooney, and she does my locks. So,
they look good.
Thank you.
They're beautiful.
I know, I'm like, I don't know. So I added Donald's locks. I got like 4 long, random locks up in here.
Thin at the end?
So my hair, I dyed it and fried it and all that stuff. And so my little locks were falling off. So I told Jordan, I'm like, girl, Donald, from the first time, no, I think the second time I locked his hair, we cut it off and we gave it a clean cut. So I soaked him. I gave it like an apple cider vinegar rinse. Girl, I scrubbed these things and I took them to her and she put them in my hair. So
if you wouldn't have said anything, I wouldn't have noticed.
Really?
They look like they're blended in.
I know, but when you notice, you notice.
Now I can't stop looking.
I know, when you notice, you notice. But so now I told Donald, I'm like, now I can carry a part of you around with me everywhere I go. That's some points right there.
Yes.
Right? But anyway, so I have the locks. And anyway, she does an amazing job, y'all. So check her out. I'll also put her information in the description. So yes, let me drink some of my tea. Janae, please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Janae Burton. I am here with my beautiful cousin on her podcast. I'm really thankful for you. I just want to let you know that she is my go-to person. And I just adore you so much.
I used to
but
change
I'm
her
so
diapers.
happy. Yeah. Take baths.
Right. Like the bather and everything. Now she's a grown woman. She's thriving. She's got a little baby. She's got a family. And, you know, when you're the older cousin, you see your younger cousins, like, just growing up and doing their thing. And it's an amazing feeling when, I don't know, especially when you have a really good bond and relationship.
Yeah,
So she's
sure.
that cousin to me. Anyway, guys, happy March again, and happy National Women's Herstory Month. Yes, I did change that from history to herstory. If you don't know what that is, just a brief. In 1987, Congress declared the entire month of March as Women's History Month, which is commemorating and encouraging the study, observance, and celebration of the vital role of women in American history. So, you know, we have some powerful women out there. If you don't know one, be one. Inspire women. I mean, it takes, this is a man's world, like James Brown said, but it wouldn't be nothing without a woman. So we're celebrating all of you beautiful ladies, all of you beautiful women out there who continue to strive towards greatness. You guys beat the odds. You're resilient. Continue to be brave. Continue to be strong. Continue to use your voice to speak out, even if your voice shakes. And continue to just follow your dreams, because you matter. You're worth it. And you deserve all of the beautiful things that life has to offer.
Absolutely.
And this month, I'm especially excited because I have, which today I wasn't planning on having a guest, but I'm super excited that I do. I wanted to fill all my Mondays up with strong women that have encouraged me, inspired me. So this Monday was a beautiful surprise, and I'm so glad that I was able to, we were able to get my cousin Janae on here this morning, because she may not know it, but she inspires me too. Just seeing her do her thing day in and day out, watching her on her journey is inspiring in itself. And then next week, I have another guest that I'll be having. It's a surprise, so I'm not going to speak too much on it. But every Monday this month, I'm going to have a guest, and so you guys don't want to miss it. It's going to be some really good things, some really good topics. I will say, though, one of my guests, I mean, all of them are amazing, but for one of them, they are, it's a topic that I hold really dear to my heart, which is pelvic floor therapy. And so I'm going to have my therapist on, and I'm really excited about that because she is going to talk about all things pelvic floor. And I get so many women that talk to me and tell me that they don't know anything about pelvic floor. And so
You're the one who told me what it was. And I was
right?
like, what's that?
Exactly. And so I feel like every woman, whether you've had a child or not, should see a pelvic floor therapist, because our bodies go through so much. And so she's going to be on, and we're going to share some really good topics with surrounding all things pelvic floor. So keep a lookout on those dates, because it's going to be this month. So let's get into it, Nene. How are you doing? How is the baby? Tell us.
We are doing good. We just moved, so we're barely settling in. We got all of our stuff, but everything's good. We live in a great town.
How's the baby?
She's doing good.
And how old is Jelani?
She's 1. But
so she has a 1-year-old.
1 going on 15.
Yeah, right? She's first time mom.
Yeah.
How's that going? Like, if you can think about from before you even like thought about being a mother till now, isn't it like, man, where's the manual? Yeah, I need the manual. Like, what do I do now?
There's nothing. It's like literally your life instantly. Like, it goes from you doing your own thing, not having responsibilities, just getting up and going, and now I gotta get my baby ready, take her back, do her hair, do
that
this,
alone,
do this,
right?
pack a diaper bag. It's a lot, but I love it. It brings me a joy. I can't even explain it.
I know. I mean, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But that's only like one part of it. I mean, we don't even, it's like the feelings of even having a baby that's sick or not even knowing what to do with that, right?
Oh my gosh.
It's one thing to care for yourself when you have a cold, but when you are responsible for another
It's
human
like
being,
on 10. Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
and then the emotions that come behind it, oh, it's so
I remember
much.
the first time she got sick and I had to take her to Kauai Delta. I was a hot mess.
Oh, I know.
I was hysterical. I didn't know what was going on.
It is.
But
But you utilize, the thing I admire about you is that you do utilize your village.
oh
And you
yeah,
are.
you have to.
Yeah.
You have to.
You are like, you'll call out, you'll ask questions, you're not prideful in that
Yeah, I
area
know.
because you always are looking to learn in every aspect
Yeah.
of your life. Whether it just be like common things that we go through and you're like, oh my God, I never thought about that. And
Yeah.
so just keep doing that because it's so, like you said, it's so important to utilize your village, ask questions if you don't know.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that's what we're here for. The people that have done it or are doing it before us, I mean, oh my God, there's so many times I've called out to your nana about things or,
Yeah.
you know, my mom or, you know, just different women because they all do it different. We all do things different. Doesn't mean that one does it better than the other, but we just got to find a way that works.
Yeah. Totally.
So the baby's 1 now. She's walking. She's
Walking,
good.
talking, mouthful of tea.
Yeah. Have you gone back to
Into
work?
everything? No, not yet.
So how do you juggle, or how did you juggle with working and being like a first-time mom?
Oh my! And on top of that, her dad was on deployment, so I was not single mom, but I
Right.
was doing it
Yeah.
by myself.
Yeah.
It was hectic.
Right.
But I wouldn't want it any other way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine my life without her now.
I know.
She just adds a little spunk to my
I
life.
know. So we all wish that motherhood came with a manual, right?
Yeah.
I know. I feel like with my journey and having now like a 6-year-old, that was scary in itself, you know, because of the struggles that
Yeah.
I faced having, trying to even like get pregnant. For those that don't know my story, just really briefly, because I will touch on it later on this month too. But my 6-year-old, she was my 6th pregnancy before I was able to get pregnant, keep it full term. Well, not even full term because I delivered at the end of my 7th month.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, my little preemie. And I guess like I had, I didn't know, but I had gotten pregnant when I was, well, I did know that I was pregnant, but I had gotten my first time getting pregnant. I was 24, I want to say. I was like 24. And it was my husband and I's first time getting pregnant. And I like had a molar pregnancy. So for those that don't know what that is, it's honestly, you know what it is? It's like the same type of cancer that your papa had. And it grew inside of my uterus and it gives off pregnancy hormones. So it's kind of like, it's equivalent to testicular cancer. So this growth grows in your uterus and it gives off like, it looks like a cluster of grapes. So it just grows and grows and it gives off pregnancy hormones. And so you get a positive pregnancy test. Yeah, so the whole 9, your stomach gets big, but the thing is that it can be cancerous. So you can turn into cancer and then you'll end up having to get chemo. Thankfully, they caught it in time. And so they were able to just go in, do a DNC. So that was my first time experiencing pregnancy. Was this molar? It was the hardest thing ever. And then after that, I got pregnant again, and I lost that one. And then I got pregnant a 3rd time, and I lost that one. And a 4th time, I lost that one. And a 5th time.
Like, did you have any, I know you said you're going to touch on it sometime this month, but did you ever feel like, wow, like, this is just not meant to be for me?
So, yes and no. Like, I remember feeling like, man, because my grandmother is not my biological grandma.
Yeah.
And so I have a 16-year-old bonus daughter, and I thought maybe my life was going to be like my grandma. Like I would just be a bonus mom and take on, you know, and I wasn't going to. But then I still felt in my heart that like God was going to bless me with pregnancy and fertility, and that I would be able to experience and have my own child. So I just kept praying, and honestly, my prayer changed in that moment. I don't remember which miscarriage it was, but I remember sitting and crying after the miscarriage because I was, number one, in so much pain, and then number two, I was heartbroken again.
Yeah.
So I remember like rubbing my stomach, and honestly, my prayer changed in that moment, and I just started thanking God for my beautiful, healthy baby. So I just kept saying, thank you, God, for my beautiful, healthy baby. Even though I don't see it right now, I honestly believed in that moment. And shortly after, I got pregnant with Daisy. And so my prayer like instantly changed. I'll never forget going to my doctor, because I went to the same doctor for all of my pregnancies, and she felt different about it too. And she was like, we're going to have this baby. And I'm like, okay. And so she sent me to all of these specialists. And they started to do all of the tests, ran blood tests. I mean, I took every single test you can possibly think of, and come to find out I had a blood deficiency where my blood creates clots, like this antibody that forms when I get pregnant. It attacks the placenta and tries to kill off the fetus, thinking it's like a foreign object in my body. Right? Isn't that wild? When the doctor told me that, I'm like, wait a minute. Like, can you repeat that? Because never in my life have I heard. I mean, I always knew I had like bad menstrual cramps, and I always like felt like I was a wounded animal, like roadkill during my menstruals, right? But I mean, to hear that, I was like, that's wild. So to go even further, they gave me a blood thinner. I had to give myself a shot in my stomach every single day. That was like the worst thing, because it burned, and I had bruised up, and it was every day. It wasn't like a once a month thing. Literally, it was like, get the needle ready, pull my skin out, and give myself a shot. And I'm like, okay, but this is what I have to do. Motherhood is scary. It's like, but this is what you got to do. You don't even think about in those moments, like, I don't want to do this anymore. But
it's like, such an underlying blessing, like, just especially for your story specifically, that you were even able just to pull through.
Yeah, we did. And lots of prayer, lots of tears, lots of scary moments, because not only was I was able to get pregnant, but just having to keep it a healthy pregnancy was a task in itself. Because then I was hospitalized the majority of my pregnancy. So I didn't have my journey was beautiful. I mean, looking back, I'm like, it was such a beautiful journey to me, because it's my journey. And every woman's journey is different. And I think when we learn how to embrace that and accept what our journey is, then the road it's a little more easier to get up and do this thing called motherhood every single day.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, a little bit about my pregnancy journey. Like, again, I'm gonna touch on it a little bit more later on this month. But I know you ladies have some really beautiful journeys out there. I'd love for you to comment a little bit about yours. I'd love to read pregnancy journeys. So if you're willing to share, I'm willing to read it.
Yeah.
So then there's like this thing where it's like, we imagined how our pregnancy is going to be.
And it doesn't go anything like it.
Or motherhood.
Yeah,
and
no way.
And then you have to accept it. Like, you accept how motherhood is actually going for you. But I mean, let's talk about like the burnouts that we experience. Have you ever felt a moment where you're like, I know you have, because you're a new mom, number one, and number two, you have a toddler. And so what does burnout look like for you? Like, do you remember a time where you're just like, I am utterly and completely exhaused,ed and I just need someone to like hold her? Or
when she was a newborn.
Oh, I know.
Everyone's like, she's so tiny, cute. Yes, but it's all focused about the baby. It's not about how mom feels.
That's true.
And I was tired.
I know.
I was breastfeeding every 2 hours, no sleep. Like, it's insane. But I remember feeling exhausted. Like, I was like, how can I get through this? How am I going to do this? I don't know. There's no manual on being a new mom.
Right.
And there's times I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not. And then I seen, like, my daughter's dad, he was so supportive.
Aw.
And we would do research, and he would help me feel better. Like, you're not the only person who's feeling like this or has felt like this. So
Because he doesn't know
it's
how
normal.
you feel.
Oh, no.
But the fact that he was trying to encourage you.
Yeah, no.
That you're not the only one.
Yeah.
You're like,
no.
I'm going to take this baby so I can take a nap.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah. I was, can you guys please come for a couple? I made her some bottles. Just come. I need to take a shower. But, yeah, no, we read something, and it changed my perspective instantly. Like, after, had been like 2 weeks. And so it said, you only have a newborn for, about a month. And that's when they're not newborn anymore. So enjoy those moments. The not being able to shower, smelly, looking rough.
Embrace it, right?
Embrace it, love it, enjoy it, because now my baby's a toddler. And I'm like,
and then it only goes like uphill from here.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
then it goes from, I mean, you have a toddler, I have a 6-year-old, 16-year-old, and then it just like, poof, they're gone.
Yeah, yeah. My daughter's already, she closes her room door. Oh. I'll go in her room and be like, what are you doing? And she's like, get out. And I'm like, already? I'm like, no, where did my little baby go? But new moms, embrace that, enjoy it, love it. You only have that tiny baby for a little short 4 weeks.
Yeah. And then it's the same thing about just having a child in general, like, you know, the baby phase, like the newborn phase ends very quickly. Yeah. But then you have a toddler for a little longer, because then it's like 1 to 4, I would say. 3, because then once they're 4, I mean, they're full-on sentences, and they tell you how they feeling.
Oh,
They tell you
yeah.
what they don't want to do, what they want to do. So, and then it's like from 4 to 6 or 7, like you don't even know like, who is this child?
Yeah.
So definitely embrace those. It's hard when you're in the moment, right? It's hard when you're exhausted and you're like, how do I learn how to love this moment that I'm in when I'm exhausted and I can't think? And let's not even talk about postpartum, because, you know, did you experience that?
Oh, yes.
That's a whole other beast,
I will
right?
say I had it really up until a little bit before Halloweenish.
Yeah.
I was tore up. And the way that it just attacks your mental state is insane. Like, it's scary.
Yeah.
It is so scary.
It's so different. It looks so different in so many women too, postpartum.
Yeah,
and it just
attacks everybody differently. I didn't have any, like, I know some people have experienced like little malicious thoughts.
Yeah.
Like, you know, mine was really like within myself.
Yeah.
You know, your body changes, you're exhausted. And I was, my daughter's dad, he was there till she was like 4 months, and then he had to go on deployment until after her first birthday. So I had her by myself, almost 7 months by myself.
Doesn't that make you appreciate like single mothers more?
Oh my gosh.
Because you're like, how do you even do it? Like,
I had to commend my mom.
Yeah.
Because
like,
I was like,
do it?
That's crazy. Yeah. With not 1, but 2.
Right.
Like, I couldn't imagine, but I felt like I was always on the go. I had and I feel like I expressed this to you, like, I just don't have time for myself.
Yeah.
Like, I kept saying the massage thing.
Yeah.
I was so stuck on getting a massage.
Your gift certificates collecting dust. Like, I got this for my birthday last year. It may have expired, because you don't think about those things when you're having to care for a child.
No way.
That's what we tend to do. We tend to like push these things, and we'll talk about that later, but we just continue to push ourselves aside when that's not even healthy for us.
Yeah.
Like, that's probably the worst thing we can do.
Moms, take care of yourself.
And we think like, well, maybe our moms didn't do it, but I think that was the problem. Like, that's why they may have been a little more like snappier or always frustrated or always upset, because they didn't take the time to just take a breather, you know, or...
It's like essential that you do it.
Yeah. really is.
You're no good for your kids, your baby, if you're not good
Right.
mentally, like your soul, your heart. You have to take care of yourself.
So with the burnout signs, burnout signs can look like you've lost control of what's happening to you and in your life. You lose patience easy or empathy for your kids or the people around you. Exhaustion to the point your body hurts. Everything is a rush, right? I have to really stop myself when I feel like I'm rushing for no reason. Because when you're a mom, you're just constantly rushing. Like everything is, oh my God, I gotta complete this, or I have to finish this so I can start the next task.
Yeah.
So everything is a rush. Our kids are seeing this. Like our kids are picking up on those vibes. And so when you're in a constant state of rushing, you're absolutely going to lose your patience and lose your SHIT a couple of times.
Yeah.
Like it's inevitable. And so slow down. Just slow down and breathe is like my best advice when you're in that. I mean, especially if you're having to go to work, you're a working mom. We tend to just get on this routine where it's like you get up in the morning, got to get the kids ready for school, got to get yourself ready, got to make breakfast, do all the things, sign homework, check homework, whatever you have to do. You're in a constant rush state. Slow down. In my opinion, prep and planning the days and nights before are vital. And so remember that when the baby gets into school. Take my word for it. The planning only helps you for the following days and weeks to come. Like plan as much prep. Like prep and planning go together, but prepping the nights before.
Lay their clothes out.
Girl,
get their hair stuff out.
I'm telling you.
Backpack is packed. Lunch is ready.
Yes. And
so
that
you're not
is,
rushing in the morning.
It really just, I'm like, if this can really, it sounds so simple because it is.
Yeah.
And we should be doing that because I'm telling you, like, the difference between having to, and it's happened to myself because sometimes I'm not able to prep the night before for the whole week, but I've gone to the point where I do prep for the whole week with Daisy. And a part of that is because I'm gone, and so I want it to be easy for Donald because Donald takes care of Daisy during the week. And I don't want him to have to be looking for something because Lord knows my baby would be going to school looking crazy anyway. I mean, she would have cheetah nylons on with a pink skirt and some blue Nikes. So I'm like, let me prep my baby's clothes. But if I don't, I'm okay with it. Like, I'm okay with whatever, as long as my kid gets to school and as long as she eats. Dad, do whatever you need to do. I'm not tripping. I'm not going to make a big deal about it. Put the cheetah tights on. It's all good. But I like to make it easier for him. And I actually learned that from him because that man preps, plans, these routine habit, it's crazy. So I'm like, I'll do the same thing. And it just makes our mornings. And honestly, I feel like I have a happy child because she don't see mama going crazy in the morning. Like, yelling, get your stuff. Like, go get your backpack. Go get your jacket. It's like right there. So it just makes things like, it just helps and it makes things go a little bit smoother. So that's my advice to you when the baby gets into school and if you choose to go back to work, the more you prep the nights before, the easier and smoother your mornings will go because there will be mornings where Miss Thang don't want to get up and then that's a whole nother drama, because it's like, but if you find like their happy place, you know what their happy place, like Daisy's is being tickled. So I know that if I tickle her in the morning, she'll be good. She'll wake up with a smile or she'll wake up with a laugh and because she does not like waking up early in the morning. So I have to find ways to, but again, like it's that prepping that I do the night before that allows me to wake up.
Have a little bit more time with her too.
Yes, in the morning. It's so important. I really do think it's important.
Yeah, I agree.
But, burnout signs, exhaustion, irritability, again, it's the constant frustration. And experiencing like anxiety over things that you have to get done, like the daily routine, the daily tasks, like those are all signs that I may be burnt out, and I may need to.
Honestly, I felt like that's exactly what I was experiencing, being burnt out. Just on the go, constantly, not taking any time to just, okay, breathe, woosah, it's going to be okay, just get it done, let's just do it.
And how long were you able to take off after you had her from work?
I had to go back 6 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
I was in the bathroom crying with my pumps. I was ready to go home. And I would call, okay, she's not eating? Okay, I'm going to call. I'm on my way. I'm going to tell them I'm leaving. I would find any little thing. Oh, she feels a little hot? Okay, I'm coming. She's cold. I didn't bring her no socks.
Yeah, I didn't bring her no socks.
I'm coming. I got her.
Yeah.
But it was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. And her babysitter, Miss Sally, we've grown up with her our whole life, but it's not that I didn't trust her because she's so sweet, so lovable, but it's just, I want to be, you know.
Of course.
And even to this day, I was like, I can't believe that because I worked Monday through Friday, sometimes even on a weekend.
Yeah.
I was like, I only literally have like Saturday, Sunday, and then like when I'm off of work. But by the time I get off of work, it's time for bath, feeding, bed. I felt like I didn't get to spend any time with her. So I would literally crucify myself over that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Being a new mom is
so hard.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It's like a story on its own.
Think about the ones that like just even like babies having babies, you know, how like I couldn't imagine. It's hard for me to do it in my 30s, let alone when I'm 15 or 16. I just don't. It's so hard all around. But like, why do we get burnt out? Like, why? If you really like think about it, it's like, yeah, we have all the things to do. You know, we have to work. We have to take care of the family. We have to just do A through Z, right? But I really, truly believe that we burn ourselves out because we spread ourselves so thin, right? And a new mom it's kind of different. I mean, you're devoted to your baby. It's your new thing. You're trying to figure this thing out. You're trying to see what works best. But if I can I feel like my situation was a little different. I did have a lot of help, and I was very blessed. My job gave me like 6 months off. So I was able to take 6 months. I mean, I pulled every resource.
Oh, yeah.
I used like vacation. I went unpaid. Like, I was like, I don't care. I need to, you know, having the C-section, of course, you get automatically the 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And then she was a preemie. So she was in the hospital for 2 months. And I'm like, that's an additional 4 weeks that I needed, you know?
And then, she was so tiny.
Yeah.
And you just needed to be there.
And I'm like, there's no way I can go back to work. But the 6 months did include some of my pregnancy time because I was hospitalized. Yeah. So I was off before I even had her.
Yeah.
So it was like 3 months of pregnancy time, and then 3 months I was with her afterwards. So it was like a total of 6 months that I was off. But, you know, we spread ourselves so thin and we take on so many tasks. And this is kind of talking like now when I have a 6-year-old, you know, I find myself like, dang, why am I so tired? Because let me tell you, this morning I was like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. I'm exhausted. Like, granted, I do have my hands in a lot of things right now, but I have to really listen to my body at times, and we have to really pay attention to the signs of exhaustion, because the more that we add on to our plate,
you're going to be no good by the time you get to everything else.
It's just, I have no more to pour. For Daisy, for my kid, for my husband. I have no more, like, and I was thinking, like, sitting back the other day, just reflecting and journaling. I love to journal. So, and just like what is going on? Like what season am I in right now, right? And just like praying and talking to God, and just I love the season I'm in right now. I'm a full-time employee, full-time wife, full-time mother. We started, my cousin Jay and I started the podcast, so that's like I've taken on that, and then Donald and I decided to start a business with Daisy, and so we're getting that off the ground, like getting the business license and all that off the ground. Still trying to go after my dreams of being an actress. And not only do I work, like I travel for work, so I'm away from home. So I feel like there's so much I need to get caught up on. My house is a mess, which I'm okay with that. I'm not letting it stress me out right now. It's not a mess to where it's like, oh my God, I'm tripping over stuff, but it's not the way I like it to be cleaned, right? Yeah. But some things I have to just be like, okay, whatever, I'll get to it when I get to it. My laundry is over, it's piling over, and it's okay because the kid is going to school with clean clothes, and so is the husband, I think. And Donald, they're
dirty
fed.
dolls.
They're fed, right? Thank God for DoorDash. They're fed, right? So I'm putting things like in line, and I'm not gonna make myself go crazy, because that's where exhaustion, I feel like, truly starts, when you hold this certain level of, oh my God, especially with social media. When you start scrolling and you start seeing other people's lives looking a lot better than yours on social media, you're like, dang, I need to get it together. You're all right. You don't need it. You're good. You know, don't base your life off of 3-second video of theirs. You know, like they record or people record or take a picture. Like, you can't base your life off of your certain situation. So I'm like,
99.9% of the time, because I know I'm guilty of it too.
Yeah.
I'm only posting things that look perfect.
Yeah,
it's not going to look like that in an hour or two.
Why do you do that? Let's start posting real. I want to see real pictures.
Yeah, let me see what you look like on a normal old Sunday.
I want to see more realness on social media. Like, I'm tired of the staged stuff. I mean, some things.
And this kind of goes back to motherhood topic. I found myself after birth, I was like, how come my body doesn't look like hers? Yeah. How come I didn't snap back like her?
Right. Oh, man.
How come I'm not producing breast milk like her? Yeah. Like, I found myself doing that, and I was like, no. Yeah. You cannot compare yourself to other people.
Right. Yeah. Oh, the breast milk, that was one thing, because I mean, I was an overproducer, but Daisy wasn't taking my milk the way that, and that's when I really learned how to not really compare, because when she did take my milk, I felt like she was throwing up all the time. So I'm like, oh my God, my milk is not good enough for her. She's, for her stomach.
The things we tell ourselves.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
And so I said, and I felt so bad with having to change her to like a gentle ease formula for her stomach. But then I'm like, as long as my baby's eating, that's all that matters. Honestly, that's all that matters. Yeah. And so I know a lot of women that do struggle with, like, oh, I wanted to breastfeed, but I couldn't because the baby didn't latch. And so that's one pressure that us as moms put on ourselves. Yeah. But at the end of the day, we honestly do have to tell ourselves, as long as the baby's eating, try to incorporate some healthy, and that's what I did too with my breast milk. I'm like, well, maybe I'm not eating healthy. So then I started juicing. But then I'm like, no, I have to eat. Like, I'm about to pass out. Like, I can't just be drinking juice. No. And then I felt like her face would break out. So I'm like, well, maybe I'm juicing too many oranges. Maybe I'm drinking too many oranges because that's acidic. Yeah. Just all the things that we think about.
It's crazy what we tell ourselves.
It really is.
And then our mind believes it. And then we live with that. Okay, like the orange thing. I can't give Daisy oranges now because she's allergic. I know. And you don't even know if that's
freak
true.
Out. I know, right? You just start freaking out. But I feel like we really do have to pay attention to the things that cause us to burn out. Yeah. And it really does boil down to, I feel like, just spreading ourselves so thin, taking on tasks. And in order to get better at self-care, because I know a lot of us, self-care is important, and taking care of ourselves, we have to ask ourselves, like, what do we really want? Like, what in motherhood, when we come home or whatever it is, what do we really want? Is it a clean home? Do we want a clean home? Do we want behaved kids? Do we want a happy marriage or happy relationship? Like, what's really important to us? And how do we foster those things? Like, how do we accomplish those things without compromising our energy? Because everything that we spend time on, we pay for in energy. And sometimes we just have to just relax and breathe.
Yeah.
Just breathe and relax. I know so much is going on, and but we do need to also pay attention to what we give our energy to, because I don't know if you know anybody, but I know I do. I know people that, and I've been a victim of this too. Not even a victim, but I've been subject to this too, where I know I should be relaxing, or I know I should be taking the time to just get me some R&R, because I don't have no kid at home.
Yeah.
But then I'll start doing something around the house, or, I'll just start scrolling social media for hours at a time, when really that's not even rest, because our minds are constantly at a go when we're scrolling and liking, and then you go from one app to the next app, and then you jump back and forth. I mean, I do that sometimes. And if I don't pay attention to what I'm giving my energy to, I can get caught down that rabbit hole where I'm just for hours, it's easy. But everything we spend time on, we pay for in our energy. So, and then also, like, what are we giving our energy to things like drama and bad relationships, and that's exhausting in itself, right? Like, where's your energy going, and that those could be the reasons why you feel so burnt out and exhausted.
I've literally had to cut someone off because they kept hitting me up with their negativity and all
another
that.
thing.
I'm like, girl, you are draining me, and I am done.
That's another thing.
You have to cut it off there.
Especially,
because it comes onto you, and I'm like, you're draining me, and it's not even have nothing to do with
my problem.
me.
And you really have to be careful with that, because especially if you're on your own healing journey yourself,
I can't help you.
Like, I can't heal if I gotta heal for you too. Like, I can't do it. So you're definitely paying attention to taking that stuff in.
Yeah, no.
But yes, just making sure that our hearts are full, and we keep our patient cup full, because then that's really the key to, I feel like, thriving in motherhood is patience. Like,
that's
patience. Key. That is so key, because like we mentioned earlier, our babies are growing up, and if they see us in a constant state of rushing, and a constant state of just always being frustrated, irritable, we have to really, like, reflect on that and take a moment to look, like, why am I feeling like this, and what can I do different so that I don't have to feel like this. Like, that can't be a good feeling to have all the time, because it's a domino effect. But we love our babies, and sometimes our patience runs thin. Our capacity for more of whatever is limited, and we snap at little things. But just remember that does not mean that you are not loving every moment of motherhood. So go a little easier on yourself, make those small changes, prep for the nights before. If you have children in school, I'm telling you, that's the game changer right there.
I have a little quote I want to share really quick. This is mainly for new moms, but you can go ahead and make it resonate with yourself. Here it is. There will be difficult things sometimes. There will be hard days and you'll have mixed feelings that might become overwhelming. However, always keep in mind that it's just temporary and that one day you're going to miss having that new little baby. And that I had to literally repeat that to myself in the beginning.
Yeah.
It's
And
temporary.
You're such a calm person anyway. You've always been like that. Since you were young, you've always been like, just have this calm persona. I know you could turn up, but it's in your blood.
Yeah.
But
0 to 100. Right. I have 2 speeds. Either I'm real cool or I'm not.
But you do have this like calm persona about you, and you are really just, you're killing it at motherhood. It's like the beginning for you. It's the beginning for me too. But you're doing all of the right things because you know how important it is to first heal yourself, to continue on with your healing journey. And because, there's always things that we're going to have to work on. So just keep up with that. And for the ladies out there, for the mothers out there, just remember that you are worthy, you matter, you're doing an amazing job. There's times where we do get frustrated and irritable and snap. It's not the end of the day. Just regroup, breathe, try to relax. Have conversations with your babies if they're, of age to understand, or even talk to your baby when they're little. I mean, mommy snapped a little bit today, but I still love you, whatever. I used to do that to Daisy, like, mom, a little crazy, but I still love you. Keep taking care of yourself. That's the most important thing. Find your outlet. Keep taking care of yourself. Go to the gym, whatever it is you want to do. Start eating healthy. All of those things, seriously, with a new mother, that matters. That stuff matters. Taking care of ourselves.
The affirmations that you were talking about. Yeah, that is so vital.
Oh, affirmations.
You kind of gave me that idea of getting the Post-its and putting them on your mirror.
Oh, I'm a Post-it
And I did
queen.
that. Yeah, I did that. And I was like, I have to tell myself this every single day.
Yeah.
So that I can feel it.
Yes, you got to feel it. Like I did. I think I shared that I would put Post-it notes around my bathroom. Anywhere that I spent time with, which is my bathroom.
Yeah.
I spent time, and with just reminding myself, like, you got this. Just breathe. That was one of them. Just breathe. I would write down little small prayers that would just keep me going, so I wouldn't lose my mind.
Oh,
and
it's
then
easy
my
to do
baby
that.
would feel that. Our kids feel our energy. So another thing before we close up is I do want to express that mom guilt is not real. It's real if you make it real.
Yeah.
So this whole I know you hear a lot of people talk about,
I was
my
guilty
God,
of it
mom guilt is real. And yes, we feel bad when we're out, trying to just
I feel
get some
like
time.
I kind of said that 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I was at the nail shop and I'm like, I feel so guilty. I want to know what my baby's doing.
I know, and she's all right. She's being a little Tasmanian. She's good. But mom guilt, it's just something. It's something that was just programmed in us to make us believe that it's wrong for us to take care of ourselves. And again, taking care of ourselves looks like different things for different women. But just know that it's not a real thing. It's only real if you put that energy into making it real. But taking time for yourself to get healthy and to take care of your mental state is not a bad thing. It will never be a bad thing because you can only do your best and give your best and thrive in motherhood if you take care of yourself first, taking care of yourself first, whatever that looks like. So keep doing that. Utilize your village. Ask for help. Don't feel guilty for asking for help because yes, you are the mother and yes, you do things a certain way, but that doesn't mean that your village, the other mothers in your circle or your mother-in-law or your own mother or whoever doesn't know how to do things and help with your situation and your kids. So utilize your village and take some time out for yourself. So Do you have anything else before we close, Nay?
I just want to encourage all the moms out there, even dads who are, I know there's some dads out there doing it on their own
They
too.
are. I do.
So
I
they
know
need a
some
little
too.
praise.
Yes.
Keep pushing. Make sure you take care of your mental state, your
Yes.
soul. Listen to good music. Go for walks. Eat better.
Heck yeah.
Do whatever makes you feel happy.
Heck yeah.
Ask for help. Don't feel prideful like
Right.
you can't, because you need that time.
You
Your
do.
kids won't be good if you're not good.
Exactly. We are better
So-
moms when we take care of our mental, physical, and emotional well-being.
Yeah.
So thanks for rocking with us this morning, y'all.
Have a
and,
good week.
Yeah, sending love and peace to you guys. Bye.
Bye. That was awesome.